Hey, what is up, guys? It is Rapmark here. So I am doing. So before I get started, I just want to do a disclaimer because I'm doing a review of Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. So why am I not doing what I said in my vlog? So what happened is I had no idea that this had come out this week. Um, from what I had seen, I knew it came out this month, but then I'm looking at it, it's like release date was August 5th, but it slipped into that was limited release, and then it widened the venues it was at as of when I saw it. So, and unfortunately, neither film was available at the movie theater where I have a membership to where I can, actually see movies for free, just pay monthly. It's worth it with the amount of movies I see. So yeah, it was. So yeah, it came out, and because I am still very limited on money, I had to choose between Fall and this, and I opted for this because I do enjoy A24 films. They are hit and miss, but the newest ones I have enjoyed a lot to somewhat, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try to avoid stuff like that in the future. Try to look hard about things that are limited releases like this was, cause yeah, um, and it blows my mind because I mean, Everything Everywhere All at Once was also a limited release, but it did come out in my theater, so I could see that. That is a late review I will be doing, one of the four. And there's another A24 film, Men, which I will also be doing, and another A24 film. So, like I said, some really good ones that I've seen, but anyway, so I digress. Let's get into this review for Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. So, what to think of this? This was, I kind of figured through the advertising, the marketing of this film, that it was going to be a lot of social commentary. The characters were going to be very tropey. Uh, and I was just like, I don't know. We're going to check it out, but I don't know. And it kind of went off to that. So that's not to take away anything from the performers, because I thought the performances were great with the terrible characters they had to portray. They played them really well, and I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, this has a fairly decent cast. I mean, some ones I don't know so well, but I mean, Pete Davidson, you should know him. Um, Maria, so forgive me if I mispronounce the last name, but Bak Bakalova. So I hope I said that right, Maria Bakalova, um, from Borat. That yeah. Um, some of these characters I don't know so well. I know Lee Pace. He did play. I forget how they say it. Thranduil in the Hobbit trilogy. So I do know, and then a few other, like, anyone well known, or at least that I would know of. Nope. So Mandia Stenberg, what has she been in? Okay, all right. She was Rue in Hunger Games. All right, and she's been in a few other things that I've seen. So all right. So there's like three people who I know in this. The rest of them seem like they're for the. I guess they're younger actors. I mean, this whole thing is essentially a bunch of 20 somethings. So, but I mean, the cast they did amazingly well. I hope this film does well by them, because while this film kind of had some mixed reactions, um, I think most people on the whole did enjoy parts of it, or like and they understand what the film was trying to go for. But man, it was just, oh, like I love how the like the cinematography was good. I loved all the shots, especially considering you're dealing here in the dark with a hurricane. Nothing was too dark. The sound was great. Sound design was great. And I did like the beats. The problem is that all of these characters, and I'll get into it more in spoilers, are essentially well off to wealthy. They're privileged pieces of shit. Essentially, these are not good people. They're all terrible people, and for being like friends for as long as they say they've been friends, with Maria being the only newcomer. Man, these people hate each other so much. And I don't know, it was that there were parts that were actively cringy. There was one character that was super annoying. They were all annoying to some extent, but it was a bit much. And while some of the humor, did get a chuckle for me, and the twist at the end, it did get a chuckle for me. It's still kind of dumb, but it still got a chuckle for me. I'll get into that in spoilers, but again, I see what they were trying to go for here. And I mean, I could imagine myself looking at the script and saying, like, this sounds like a great idea. The problem is this again. It's just these characters are so over the top, and they're so unlikable, and they're all pieces of shit. So I just at the point I just lost it, and I was just completely knocked out of it. But there were parts that were genuinely entertaining. So that's why at the end of the day, I think I have to give this film a 6 out of 10. This is not the film that I would say go out to the theaters, at what to just go see this film. It's definitely not one of A24's best. It's definitely in the middling territory. More so in the middling territory, because this is a very low 6 I'm giving it. But 6 nonetheless, because I did enjoy aspects of it, and I did enjoy the performances. I thought it was well acted. Again, I thought it was well shot. And I did like some of the humor. I just these characters were cringe. These characters were very cringy. Oh my god. So yeah, I'm giving this a 6 out of 10. So above average, It might be worth checking out. A good hour and a half. It wasn't a waste of time, that's for sure. I did for the most part enjoy it, but I was knocked. My suspension of disbelief. I was knocked out of it for some time. Like, I love the setup. The first act going into the second act, I thought was great. I was just like, this could be good. and then the second act was just like, oh my god, it was kind of slow, but at the same time, like the characters themselves are just so off the rails. And then Act Three was just like everything just went crazy, and then the twist, and then it was over. Just like I don't know what I went through, but I went through that. So anyway, I'm gonna go into spoilers here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this section, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya. Hey, what is up, guys? It is Rapmark here. So here with the spoiler section for Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. So essentially, it is a group of let's see, 7 people, 720s, except for Lee Pace, who's a 40-something. He plays Max. Um, they have gathered together for a hurricane party, which, at some point it starts raining. They go inside, they get bored, and, they play this game, Bodies, 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 which always ends up in a fight. So it's just like, why are you doing this to yourselves? Um, and yeah, that is the whole setup, the premise. Um, the owner of the house is played by Pete Davidson. Who is he? David. So yeah, David. And like everyone's kind of, there are no real side characters. Everyone's kind of a main character, but the ones that you kind of start off with, and the ones who end up making it at the end, are Sophie, who is friends with all these people, and her new girlfriend, B. So, and man, these people are pieces of work. Like, they're doing fucking lines of cocaine. And I mean, if you find out that all of them have shit on the other, um, they all hate each other, but they don't do anything about it. Like, they talk shit behind each other's backs with other people. Like, it's just really, these are really unlikable people. Like, oh my god. And then who was the one that I found really annoying? Let me see if I can find. I can't. Alice. Alice, okay. Yeah, she is like podcast. She does a podcast. I forget what it's about, but anyway, she's very sort of in like a free spirit. She's dating Max, who is like in his 40s. She's in her 20s. They've known each other only for 2 weeks. Let's see. Jordan is a pathological, like, I'm not sure if I'd say pathological liar. She's not. I wouldn't say that. But she definitely has like super narcissism. Lives in her own world. Like, holy crap, is this girl twisted as fuck? Uh, and I mean, there's even a joke where it's just like she's not a rags to riches kind of person. It's just like your parents taught at a university. It was public, which did make me chuckle. Like, a lot of this humor is for a younger crowd who sort of gets those kind of jokes. It may be a bit like cringy for some millennials. It might be laughing out of context, laughing for like boomers, but man, yeah, some of it I found hilarious. Let's see, others not. Jordan also apparently had sex with Sophie at some point. Like B finds a pair of underwear in the car, and it's just like, what? And Sophie also like had a drug problem. She recently come out of it. It should. The only likable person is B. I mean, David's just a piece of shit. He has an attitude problem. He's a heavy narcissist, and he ends up like kill. Okay, so David ends up, after the power goes out, slamming against the window. His throat is like sliced, and that just turns into this whole off the rails thing. They all freak out. They're all just like, "Where's Max?" And Max is a nice guy. He's just like really old. And what is he doing hanging out with all these 20-somethings? Anyway, he's kind of confused because everyone's just saying, "You killed David." And yeah, he holds a knife. He's just like, "What the heck is going on? Everyone calm down." But B kills him with a kettlebell. B is the nicest, most decent person here, but she killed 2 people by herself. Kills him with a kettlebell, hits him with it twice. Good Lord. But she is a nice person. I mean, she dropped out of school to take care of her mother, who suffers from borderline personality disorder, which you find out later. Let's see, and then you have... Who else? Emma, who plays David's girlfriend, who they have been together for 3 years, and he doesn't treat her very nice. It's a terrible, toxic relationship, but she's too scared to get out of it, is what's been told. So anyway, moving on. After Jordan gets killed with a cowbell, they split up for some unknown reason. Sophie runs into Emma after Sophie relapses, does some cocaine, and says mean things, like tells Emma the truth, essentially, about her relationship. Emma kisses her, and then she runs off. And then you find her... Like, Alice finds her dead at the bottom of a flight of stairs. And Jordan and Alice are immediately look at B and throw her out. And that's where she has to go out into the car and discovers the pair of underwear. And then she gets in, and Jordan, finds a gun and has it, but then hides it. And but then at some point, I forget what it was. Yeah, Jordan, cold, controlling nature. And hate listens to Alice's podcast, so that's what it is. And then Alice, that's where you get the whole joke of rags to riches. It's just like they taught it at a university. It was public. Oh my gosh. And then, yeah, at that point, she shoots Alice in the leg. And Alice is just screaming. It's just like, "I've never been shot before, but it really hurts." Oh my god, it was so amusingly cringe. But god, it was awful. God, these people are terrible people. And then they wrestle for the gun. The 3 of them are all trying to wrestle for the gun. It goes off, and it shoots Alice again. This time in the neck, or in that bottom of the head. I don't know. And it kills her. And Jordan's just like, I didn't do it. It doesn't really show who did it, but I mean, Jordan still has the gun. It's whatever. And So Sophie follows Jordan up the stairs, and then B attacks Jordan, tries to wrestle the gun from her, and she throws Jordan off the banister onto a glass table with all these beer cans and kills her before she dies. She shoots a bunch of rounds, like, in their general direction, and then just says, check her texts. And then they start, and then B and Sophie are there. They're talking about it, and but B has the gun. He's just like, "Let me see your phone," and then it's just like this whole thing. And then the power comes back out. The storm is blown over. Sophie confesses to B that she witnessed Emma falling down the stairs to her death. So Sophie tosses her phone, and they inadvertently pick up David's phone. And David's body's just laying there bloody. And it clicks on to a TikTok he was taking where he's trying to do a thing with a machete where he pops the cork off of a bottle with a machete that Max did earlier in the film. And yeah, and doing it, then he starts bringing the machete like toward himself, and he essentially cuts his own throat, kills himself. So this whole thing was people being stupid on drugs, friendships that were never real, and it just went off the rail when you're just confined. Like the whole hurricane thing just acted as a plot device to keep them in one location. And yeah, you don't know how it ends, but it's just like essentially everyone died of accidents except for Max and Jordan, who were killed by B. But they're all pieces of shit, except for B, who is a nice person whose only fault was that she lied to Sophie about school and being employed. But yeah, they all have like such horrible dirt, and they're all terrible friends and terrible like relationships. It's just so bizarre and cringe and awful. But again, they played them super well. Like, and that's the thing that sort of kept me entertained with it. Is the performances, the actors and actresses, they did great. So, yeah, know who your friends are, I guess. Don't do drugs. And don't be around fake friends in a confined area and play a murder game, because it will end up really, really bad, as everyone dies from accidents except for two people who get brutally murdered and one idiot who just ends up killing himself to do a cool trick for TikTok. So anyway, yeah, it ends with the two girls. Max comes in, he's confused as hell. He says he sees a dead David there, just like, what the hell happened? And Sophie and B, they just kind of look at each other, don't say much. Her phone turns on and she holds it out, just like, I have reception. And that's how it ends. It's something else. Like, it's not a waste of time, but it has a lot of issues with it. It's not one that I recommend you go out and see right away. But, I mean, if you want to see something, I mean, it's something to see. It's not a waste of time. It's, an hour and a half that you don't feel wasted. Like, it will entertain you. And there are some people, especially if you're younger crowd that I can imagine it entertaining more than it entertained me. So, anyway, that's my whole spiel on this movie. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.